So we did some testing yesterday in Austin, and I'll show you some of that data in a second, but we wanted to talk about the protocol and how, we had athletes that request to do the testing on a treadmill because they can keep a constant pace, which we can accommodate with this in mind. So if you're doing testing on a treadmill, having a top level protocol is extremely important. And I say this because you want to see a spread of intensities, a spread of durations, because we need to figure out what pace or wattage on the bike is an aerobic contribution. Now, to make sure that we get an accurate anaerobic contribution, we have to make sure that those efforts are intense enough to require the body to produce enough lactic acid, right? So the caveat to this is if you're not getting a true all-out effort and that treadmill is doing a lot of work for the athlete and they're just kind of picking their legs up, your blood lactate readings are not going to be as accurate. So one of the options that we give athletes is we can do the higher intensity efforts, the all-out efforts off of the treadmill outside, or what they're able to do is let their legs rest a day or two, and then they can go outside, utilize GPS on their watch. They send us pace, time, distance, heart rate, and then we can plug that back into their data that we took a couple days prior. This allows an athlete to get a true all-out effort and accuracy within the VO2 and VLaMax number. Accuracy in this information is key for accurate fueling strategies. Aerobic system is going to be more dependent on those fat combustion. And then that anaerobic contribution is going to be more carbohydrate combustion. So if you're guessing on any of these or getting inaccurate data, then your fueling strategies are not going to be as accurate as they could. So here's some examples. So yes, you're going to get the VO2 here, right? But what we look at is this number right here, that VLaMax, okay? The VLaMax, you're going to get other numbers, threshold, right? Carb max, fat max, available glycogen, which is very, very important. Now, the available glycogen is basically saying you have glycogen stored within your muscle and liver. So you can utilize that, but you have to make sure you replenish it, okay? Back to the VLaMax, that's what we're saying. You have to get that accurate all-out effort to truly measure that peak anaerobic system power production. Okay, so we can go into more detail. Reach out if you're interested in that. We have some free newsletters that dive into why that number is important and why it can be the missing piece in your progress. So our remote or in-person testing protocols allows you to identify that regardless of your location. Please don't hesitate to reach out. We would love to talk more in depth about this. For any athlete. Our books are open for in-person testing out at the track, or cyclists, we will meet you out on the road. This gold standard protocol is one you don't want to overlook.